In Tokyo, space restrictions have also made luxury items out of cars. It costs as much as $700 per month to park downtown. Nonetheless, some 9 million cars swarm into Tokyo on the average workday, and they all have to park somewhere. City planners have responded with automated parking facilities like this. Automation eliminates the need for ramps and driveways for motorists to park their own vehicles. Instead, this space can be reserved strictly for parking spots, maximizing capacity. Once the driver enters, machines do all the rest.
In reality, this is where the customer is supposed to get out of the vehicle. After that, the machine will bring this car down to the basement automatically, and the machine is called a lift. And after that, there's a process called daisha, and this is where the car is moved sideways. And as I will show you later, each cell is a parking space. In this process, the machine will automatically place the vehicle into the cell.
The 4-story lot has space for 650 cars, but it's just one of 12 lots beneath the vast Roppongi Hills complex, a multi-use facility that consists of office space, apartments, museums, shopping, and restaurants that accommodates 150,000 visitors every day.
As you know, we have very limited space, and we want to maximize it. So we use this automated parking system, which represents about 70% of all our parking.
Once your car is shoehorned into place in the city, you can enjoy the evening. And if you're on the prowl for nightlife, Tokyo's social scene is world-renowned. Since there's so little space to party at home, most mixing occurs anywhere but there.
This is Nombe Yokocho, a small district of very, very tiny bars in Tokyo's Shibuya area. Every city in Japan has districts like this, little ramshackle establishments that have been serving alcohol to customers since the end of the war. It's interesting that the size of these establishments, really, you can sort of reach from one side of the wall to the other if you stretch out your hands. We're here at the bar Non in Shibuya's Nombe Yokocho, Drunkard's Alley. This is a typical bar. The size is barely enough for 4 or 5 people to fit. And it encourages a certain type of togetherness.
For couples looking to take togetherness to the next level, Tokyo offers a custom-made solution at an affordable price in what are called love hotels. Why not just have sex at home? For many couples, the opportunities are limited. A lack of space leads to a lack of intimacy.
Japanese don't really have problems with sex in itself, but they do care a lot about appropriate behavior, about, being seen or not seen in certain situations by their neighbors, other people. So privacy side is very, very important.
To maintain privacy, love hotels go to great lengths.
The entry itself has to be very discreet. So there's usually just an archway or a gap where you sort of duck behind a wall, off the street as quickly as possible.
As you enter, you see the machine showing the photograph of each image of the rooms. And then you press the button wherever you want to get in.
Then you enter a small foyer where you can't even see the proprietor or the manager, whoever's behind the desk. They maintain incredible color, design sense, entertainment value, as well as convenience, comfort, security, privacy. The hotel room itself is usually a little enclosed world. It's a playroom. The bed, of course, is the center. And the lighting is wonderfully worked out. Dimmers and soft lighting, everyone's gonna look wonderful.
All sorts of amenities can be purchased without leaving the room, including cigarettes, alcohol, condoms, and sex toys.
It is not surprising, I suppose, that love hotels are often used by married couples. People who have kids at home, there's no privacy within the home. If they want to have sex, they may need to go outside, and actually find themselves a love hotel and spend their time there.
I think the concept of the love hotel represents this notion of shared private space. Everybody's there. Probably 50 people is there doing same thing, but none of them will meet to each other.
Seemingly frivolous, love hotels are in fact methodically designed to meet many couples' needs for intimacy. At night, Tokyo pulsates with a unique energy that's part Las Vegas and part Manhattan. But not all that energy generates from its storied nightlife. The Japanese are renowned for pouring their souls into their work, and Tokyo, overcrowded with go-getters, may be the epicenter of that ethic. Workers average a 55-hour week, and 90-minute commutes to and from work are common. At the end of a long day of overwork or over-socializing, a businessman too tired or too wobbly to make it home has a welcome option. Even in this densely packed city with no room to spare, he can find the tiniest of spaces to rest his weary head. It's aptly called a capsule hotel.
It makes sense, actually. If you work late, then you cannot find a train to go back to your home, then taxi will be so expensive, then it's better for him to stay in this capsule hotel.
Capsule hotels are inexpensive, less than $30 a night, and many are exclusively for men. There are no rooms, just sleeping pods measuring only 3 feet by 6 feet. Each is molded out of plastic or fiberglass and provides just enough room to recline.
They're more like berths on an overnight train, where you may have to climb a ladder to get into the one above. Usually they're stacked 3 high. There's one on the bottom, a middle one, a top one, and they're entered from the end. And the typical floor of a capsule hotel may have 30 or 40 or 50 of these things on one floor. They usually have a television and a radio and reading lamp, and I've always found them to be certainly adequate. Not a kind of place that I want to spend more than 1 or maybe 2 nights, but certainly adequate. And in fact, really kind of amusing and pleasurable in its way.
This ultimate expression of space-saving pragmatism has very esoteric origins. In 1972, architect Kisho Kurokawa completed the Nakajin Capsule Tower in Tokyo's Ginza district. Though decades have passed, this unique building still seems to hail from some unrealized future.
This is my first capsule buildings. I did many other capsule buildings in other places.
Each of these 140 small living units was prefabricated in a factory, hoisted into place by a crane, and then bolted to a central steel core with 4 high-tension bolts. In Tokyo, where the average lifespan of a building is just 25 years, Kurokawa designed the structure so that capsules could be removed, replaced, and remounted on the building's steel core. Essentially, architectural recycling. Kurokawa's capsules, just 12 feet by 6 feet, aren't large enough to be primary residences, but were intended merely as studios for short stays.
You can have your own studio here, in addition to your house. Or for the company, you can buy 3 or 4 units as a small business type of hotel unit.
These capsules can also provide commuters a break from the daily grind.
Average commuting time is 3 hours a day. Is losing important the time.
Kurokawa's ideal of architectural recycling has yet to take root. And this unique tower, the inspiration for countless capsule hotels, is an oddly compelling structure that remains ahead of its time.
好辛苦。